we are here at Miami for the for round 5 of the season here for the sprint race. We've got Joram, a very special guest here tonight. He is our 3-time champion of the F1 League, and he's currently got a big lead in this sprint race by 3.5 seconds. Demsbecky running in second. You've got Bennett running in third place right now. He's got Denny Boy hassling the back of him, and these guys are a few seconds clear of TDD Champ, who's got a train of cars, Twitch Storms and Felix close on the back of him right now. And there's Mark running in the background, a couple of seconds clear of the Grieve, followed by HD Baguette racing as a late stand in here tonight. You've got Big Tigger in the background there ahead of Little Grieve. You're followed by Crest Anime, who's just binned it there and is going to lose out to Polish My Balls and Crazy Max and Tezza Muzzer as well. Tezza Muzzer not having the race here in this sprint race at all down in P15, but Crest Anime binning it into the wall and is well down the pack here. Jill Silverin was disqualified from the race early on. We're obviously without GGJ for the sprint race. Hopefully we can see GGJ getting himself in the second one. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Kian. I just played my audio back and it sounds perfectly fine to me. But nonetheless, Joram here opening up a bit of a gap. Let's go to the battle here between Bennett and Denny Boy, because this is looking like quite a close little scrap here between these two as they're coming through the kind of middle part of the lap at the moment. Obviously, they're looking like it's going to be between these two for that podium place, because they're a little way clear of TDD Champ. And we've lost Crest Anime. Crest Anime's retired from the race as Bennett looking to try to go all the way around the outside here of Denny Boy trying to go all the way around the outside of Bennett, but can't get anything done just there. And Bennett for the time being clinging on to this one. But this is really one of the only battles going on out on the track right now. You've got Felix looking quite close on the back of TDD Champ. HD Baguette's actually hassling the back of the Grieve at the moment, as Tezza Muzzer's got ahead of Crazy Max up into 14th place, and in fact Crazy Max gets the move back on him there. Tezza's trying to keep himself there in this scrap as he's looking around the outside through this little stadium section up the inside for this left hand bend, but still keeping it around the outside there is Crazy Max, and Tezza Muzzer just getting almost pushed into the wall there. As it came through the corner, always Crazy's binned it into the wall, and Tezza moves up into P14 and no dramas there for him, manages to stay out of trouble with the ghosting. As Little Greavy's also got ahead of Big Tigger there up into 11th place. Denny Boy's made the move on Bennett up into 3rd place as well. We missed that one as it happened, but we can see the end result there is that Denny Boy is into 3rd place. Felix is still on the back of TDD Champ as these two still run quite close to the battle for 5th and 6th places here in this race. But the man of the moment right now is Joram, who is continuing to pull out his gap at the front. 4.5 seconds nearly is his delta now to Demsbecky running in 2nd place. Although having said that, over 7 laps, it's not a huge difference, and Demsbecky will be hoping that he can try and get the jump off the line, or maybe out strategize Joram in the actual Grand Prix itself. As Joram's picked up a 3-second time penalty, so that could cost him here if Demsbecky just gets a little bit of momentum going in the final few laps of this race. Then maybe Joram could be just on tenterhooks a little bit coming towards the end of this one. He's picked up now a 3-second time penalty in this race. Denny Boy's also got a 3-second time penalty, and as it stands will lose out to Bennett by the time he gets to the checkered flag. Felix is still in the back of TDD Champ. You can see these guys coming down this long straight which leads down towards the final couple of corners. The Grieve is on the back of HD Baguette as they're coming out onto this long straight. The Grieve will have DRS on HD Baguette, and let's see if the Grieve can make anything happen. Looks like he's just a little bit too far away. Maybe he might actually get a run here, you know. I'll tell you what, he's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS. He pulls out now, and the Grieve here is going to make this one routine stuff there on HD Baguette, and HD Baguette lives in the space and he gets it done easily there up into 9th place. And Felix also got ahead of TDD Champ up the inside into turn 1. Does he go deep? Does he get it stopped in time? I think he does. And Felix there moves himself up into P5. Bennett's got back ahead of Denny Boy, and Denny Boy's made a mistake. That's why Denny Boy, did he bin it into the wall? Has he got damage on the car? It looks like he's got away without damage, but Felix there moves up into 4th place. TDD Champ though has to tuck in behind, so if Denny Boy losing a place to Felix, TDD Champ's now going to try and capitalise on Denny Boy probably being a little bit out of sync here. Probably just probably taking a moment to just go again maybe, and but it looks like he's managing to keep ahead of TDD Champ for the time being, as HD Baguette has made the move around the outside there of the Grieve in the Red Bull. HD Baguette racing as a reserve tonight. Obviously used to be a regular racer in the Alfa Romeo, but tonight has decided she wanted to jump in and drive in the Red Bull. Now we can see that the Grieve is trying to come back at her though around the outside. What's going to happen? The Grieve there, DRS aided, gets the move done easily into the next corner. Oh, it's HD Baguette trying to stem one up the inside. Wow, that was a very a brave move there, but can't make it happen, as now she's going to watch out because the little Greavy's going to be looking to try and get on the back of her as well here. So she's got the Grieve riders on either side of her right now, but good little battle here for 9th, 10th and 11th places. I'm keeping an eye also on the battle for 4th because Felix is quite close on the back of Denny Boy here, but these three coming down this long back straight right now, as HTB has DRS on the Grieve, so that will help her defend from Little Greavy, who is very close. But Little Greavy's got the run nonetheless. HTB get late on the brakes. She's always late on the brakes, and she keeps the move there as a result of her braveness on the brakes, and or bravery, should I say. But yeah, looks like she's not really close enough to get him around here on the Grieve this time around. Coming down the start finish straight, Little Greavy looking to the inside. Is he going to send it up the inside? He's going to go for it there. But no, you're not going to be able to make that one happen, and HTV get tucked back in to P10 in that little battle there between those two. But Denny Boy's still running in 4th place, just ahead of TDD Champ. You got Felix there on the back of these, so these three are separated by just over a second. Right now, you've got Joam still leading the race. He's still pulling out the gap bit by bit to Dems Becky. He's not massively quicker than Dems Becky at this point, but he is on the whole, he is extending that gap bit by bit. But this is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th places between Denny Boy, TDD Champ and Felix. Keeping an eye also on the battle between the Grieve and HG Baguette, and obviously Little Greavy as well, as these guys coming into the end of the back straight, as the HG Baguette looking to the inside again, but just can't make it happen, as she gets a bit of a tap in the rear there from Little Greavy as well. But these three holding station as they were. Oh, as the Grieve just getting it a bit wrong, but the others nowhere to go, can't capitalise for the time being. Dems Becky's just done the fastest lap of the race so far, but it's a bit too late. I think he is 5 seconds behind, and Joam's 3-second penalty looks like it isn't going to bite him on the bum as it stands. But those two have just started the final lap of the race, as these guys are coming around to start their final lap in a few moments time. As TDD Champ's got ahead of Felix here coming through the final corner, so he moves himself up into P5, but might be a bit too far back to have a crack at Denny Boy. It's now, well, best part of a second. Oh, Denny Boy! No, he doesn't go deep, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong part of the track there. He's perfectly fine. But I'll tell you what, TD Champ might fancy a crack at Denny Boy on his final lap of the race, get himself a couple of extra points here in this sprint race. He'll definitely be extra motivated, as HTB gets a good Little Greavy really close to the back of her coming through turn 2. But for the time being, Little Greavy, Little Greavy can't make anything happen. It's back to the battle here for 4th, 5th and 6th places. It's still Denny Boy, TD Champ and Felix here running very, very close indeed. But any of these guys are going to be fancying a move for DRS here. 3 DRS zones around the Miami Street circuit. There's plenty of opportunity for overtakes, as TDD Champ here looking to the inside on Denny Boy, but just a little bit too far away coming into the braking zone. Through the stadium section now they go, and Denny Boy is just parking his car on the inside. Bit of a slide there, and here we go. TDD Champ's going to seize his opportunity. Denny Boy gives him the space, riders over the curve and cuts the corner there. Denny Boy, a bit naughty. TDD Champ will know that Denny Boy's got his penalty nonetheless, as there we go. Joam's taking the race win, so on his return to the F1 League here at Motive, it's a winning return for our 3-time champion. Dems Becky takes P2 in the end. Let's keep on this battle, because Denny Boy's got the run here on TDD Champ. DRS open, as we can see there. Felix also following him through as well. Felix down the inside, so Denny Boy and Felix making the move on TDD Champ up into 3rd, 4th. Oh, TDD Champ takes him out there as Felix is spun around there. Bennett's taken 3rd place in this race. Denny Boy's going to take 4th place in the end ahead of TDD Champ, but TDD Champ gets it on the penalties. So TDD Champ 4th, Denny Boy 5th. Felix will come out to take a P6 after getting taken out by TDD Champ there. Twitch Stormers comes over in 7th, head of the mark in 8th. HG Baguette is she going to hold on here? Very close, but she does hold on ahead of the Grieve there to take 9th. So Grieve there over in P10. Little Greavy finishes in 11th place in the end, ahead of Big Tigger, who takes 12th place. Teza Muzzer classified in 13th in the end. Polish My Balls is going to come around to take P14 ahead of Crazy Max, who finishes in 15th place. And that is that for the sprint race then, guys. We'll have the Grand Prix following on immediately from this, but what a race that was. I just quickly need to pop to the bog, and I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, guys. We are here on a formation lap for the Grand Prix here at Motive at Miami, round 5 of obviously a 22 round season for season 5. And we have got Joram, who took the win in the sprint race a few moments ago. He's leading us around. He obviously took a not a massively dominant win. It was about 5 seconds in the end, so reasonably comfortable. But what can Demsbecky do? They're both on the same strategy, Joram and Demsbecky. I'm sure that Demsbecky will be looking to get the jump off of the line because that's going to be his best opportunity to deny Joram of a win. Bennett and TD Champ both on the hard tyres. Denny Boy, Felix, in fact, pretty much everybody on the hard tyres, barring Joram, Demsbecky and Crazy Max. Joram and Demsbecky, the top two, will be looking to try and break away, I'm sure, as quickly as they possibly can. Little BB asking, are we going to race? Of course we're going to race, yeah. Yeah. Oh, your boys messed up the settings. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know what to say. I really don't. Bit embarrassing. Yeah. Damage was the one thing I didn't set. I did it in the first session and then accidentally overwrote my settings and had to do them all again in a bit of a rush. So I do apologise for that, guys. We're just going to have to go with it as it is, which is a bit of a frustrating one. But nonetheless, here we are at the head of the grid here at Miami for the Miami Grand Prix here at Motive. We've got Joram on the pole position, the 3-time champion, making a one-off reserve appearance tonight. The lights coming on now. We are moments away from the start. And it's almost, it's lights out and away we go. And Joram, I think he gets a good start there. Demsbecky's already having to look at the inside though. He's made a great start there as Demsbecky, and he's made the move there up into P1. So Joram there loses the position as you've got Bennett there in third, ahead of TD Champ, and it looks as though we've got Tezamaza dropping behind. In fact, no, he's actually got ahead of Game for Life. Game for Life's lost out to Tezamaza and Jill Silver and a load of other drivers there, so he's had a bad start. But Demsbecky is your race leader ahead of Joram, and Bennett there in third, ahead of TD Champ. Little Greavy's got ahead of the mark up into 5th place. You've got Tezamaza making the move there on the Grieve up into 9th as well. So a few position changes. Felix has got back ahead of Crest Anime there up into 12th, and Crazy Max is trying to go around the outside of the Grieve here and makes the move up into P10. So nicely done there from Crazy Max. But Demsbecky there getting a crucial maneuver done on Joram. He needed that desperately because Joram was looking very quick in the sprint race, but so far in this one, Demsbecky has track position as Joram's trying to go around the outside and Demsbecky leaves him the space. Joram there gets it done and manages to squeeze through there. Demsbecky trying to hold himself there, but Joram around the outside has the move completed up into the lead of the race. So it's Joram leading from pole position. Lost the lead briefly, but Demsbecky's now back down to P2. Bennett there running just behind these guys in 3rd place. But we've got double wave yellow flags through sector 2. Not quite sure what those are in aid of. Looks like it might be for Felix because he's dropping down the order like a stone here. He's down in 16th. And Crest Anime, it might be for Crest Anime because Crest Anime's down in 17th place. So that's gone a disaster there. But Joram and Demsbecky out the front as you've got Little Green making a move there on TDD Champ up into 4th place. Looking through the order there, you've got a move there. An Alpha Tauri there looking to the inside. That's Crazy Max trying to get ahead of Big Tigger there as they're coming to the final few corners. But it doesn't look like he's been able to get anything done just there then. But Joram leading the race right now, 0.3 of a second currently separating Joram and Demsbecky. There's Bennett, Little Greavy and TD Champ, and there's the Mark followed by Twitch Storms. Tezamaza there. Oh, a bit of a slide there from Twitch Storms. He's going to lose out to Tezamaza. Tezamaza didn't need a second invitation there. Moves through up into 7th place. But there they all are filing through your shot as we got Crest Anime into the pits at the end of lap 1 to get that damage fixed. So that has been a bit of a nightmare of a first lap there for Crest Anime. But currently the Greaves made the move on Crazy Max. That's because Crazy Max has binned it. So Crazy Max is losing places here. You can see he loses out to Denny Boy HD. We get Jill Silver in. So those three all coming through with Crazy Max back down the inside of Jill Silver in there, up into 13th place. So I didn't see that one coming. That one kind of came from a mile off there. But you can see here that Game for Life is now making a move on Jill Silver and up into P14. Easy stuff there for Game for Life as Twitch Stormers is trying to get the move done on Big Tigger. These two are side by side. Big Tigger there has the inside. Oh, his TDD Champs binned it. So he's lost it. He's losing a load of places there. Big Tigger though manages to get the move done there on Twitch Storms, and Twitch Storms has now binned it as well. So he now loses out to the Grieve and TDD Champs. So Twitch Storms down to P10 has had a bit of a show there, but Denny Boy's made a mistake there. Down to P15. People binning it left, right, and centre here in the first couple of laps of this race. It's Joe Am leading ahead of Demis Becky 0.6 of a second, currently separating these two right now as they're coming around to complete lap 2 of the race. And they've gapped Bennett by a little bit. He's now 2 seconds behind. There is Little Grieve running in 4th. There's the Mark and Tezamaza coming over the line here to start their third laps of the race. But Tezamaza's too far back to make a move on the Mark into turn 1. There's Big Tigger and the Grieve, followed by TDD Champ, who's got Twitch Storms looking to his inside into turn 1. Is it going to be job done? Twitch Storms there makes the move up into 9th place. You've got Game for Life there making the move, or trying to make the move here on HD Baguette, but HD Baguette keeping it there and managing to hold position. Game for Life trying it, but can't do it. Denny Boy's out of the race. Denny Boy has crashed out here on lap 3. Is it going to be a safety car? It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're just going to have double waved yellow flags through sector 3. So we've got away without a safety car there. But nonetheless, they're going to have to slow down a little bit here. 10 of you currently watching the stream, guys, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please smash the like button. I've got comments coming in from Kian and Timo as well. Welcome along to you guys. Also, JR and Day666 chiming in here on the YouTube stream right now. But Tezamaza trying to attack it on the back of the Mark. Keeping an eye on the gap at the front. It's staying at around half a second between Joram and Demis Becky right now. Demis Becky, we've seen many times over the course of his motive racing career as a driver who will be patient and who will sit in behind. So is he just playing the long game here? Currently sat in P2. Currently we're watching the battle for P4 and 5 though between the Mark and Tezamaza. Let's keep an eye and see what's going on here between Joram and Demis Becky's 0.2 of a second as they come to the end of the straight. Tezamaza's now got DRS here on the Mark and it's going to make the move into the penultimate corner, I think, side by side there. Tezamaza gets the move done up into 4th place. Big Tigger couldn't quite get there on the Grieve. Crazy Max here has got the run there on HD Baguette and breezes past up into 11th place. HD Baguette looking to try and hold it around the outside of Crazy Max coming into the final couple of quarters. Here we come back out to the start finish straight. What's happened there to Twitch Storms? Twitch Storms has had a spin there coming out of the final corner and he's losing out there. TDD Champ moves up into 13th place. Twitch Storms having a bit of a moment there, to say the least. Crazy Max is on the back of Jill Silver in as they're coming through this tricky section of the track, but you can see there Crazy Max has got more pressure from behind him. HD Baguette's looking to the inside as she's keeping it there. Crazy Max is trying to keep it on the curb. HD Baguette's going to surely get this one done. Is she? She's going to squeeze him out there. HD Baguette gets the move done. Crazy Max not giving it up. I tell you what, HD Baguette backed out of that and let him back through. So HD Baguette losing out to Crazy Max and Felix in the space of a couple of corners there. RIP me, well I hope Spain is going to be better, says GGJ. GGJ obviously had connection issues tonight, couldn't join the race, which is absolutely gutting as he's in the championship battle, but he's going to lose big points to Demis Becky, who's currently running in 2nd place. Can Joram deny Demis Becky from taking the race win and getting a 25-point boost to his championship for this round? Obviously he's already taken 7 points from the first race, obviously the sprint race. Joram taking the maximum 8 points in that one, but obviously he's a reserve for this season. Joram, he's only racing as a reserve tonight. He's not a regular racer for Motives F1 League this season, so he's just chiming in. He's just racing when he can, basically, as he's racing now in another league on a Friday night. But you've got Crazy Max who's made the move on Game for Life up into P10. Always gets Game for Life there, losing it. And he's been it there, he's lost, he's going to lose out to HD Baguette, TDD Champ and Twitch Storm. So Game for Life there down to P14. He's had a bit of a horror show there. Back to the battle for the lead. You've got Joram and Demis Becky still separated by just under a second. The Mark is still just behind Little Greavy as these two fight it out over the final top 5 spot. And the Mark trying to edge ever closer if he possibly can, but Little Greavy's been holding firm to any potential advances here from the Mark over the last few laps. You've still got Demis Becky on the back of Joram as they're coming through in towards the final sector of this lap. But Joram here has been doing everything he has to do, driving a fantastic race so far, and obviously ran away with the sprint race earlier on, racing as a reserve. He obviously plays the F1 game still, so he's still got he's not out of practice, let's say that, but yeah, he's he's definitely come back to motive, and he's really shone here tonight. Tezamaz has dropped it, so he's now down to 7th. He's got Big Tigger on the back of him here. So Tezamaz, I didn't see what happened to him, but he's lost out to Little Greavy, the Mark, and the Grieve. He's trying to get back onto. He's trying to close in on them, but Big Tigger's now trying to knock him while he's down here. We have DRS as well down this long straight. The Grieve quite close on the Mark, but too far back. There's Big Tigger here, just too far back on Tezamaz. I can't make the move coming down towards the end of the straight. You've got HD Baguette, who's still running in P12 on the back of TDD Champ as they're coming down towards the final sector of the lap. Is HD Baguette going to look to try and make a move here? Nope, too far back at the moment. But Joam here is out the front, and he's still doing what he needs to do ahead of Dennis Becky, 0.8 of a second, currently separating these two at the front. We've got Big Tigger on the back of Tezamaz still as those two battled out over P7. HD Baguette still trying to pressure the back of TDD Champ here. They battle for 11th place. But it's been an electric start to this Grand Prix here for the Miami GP at Motive. Round 5 here of Season 5 here on the PlayStation platform. We can still see HD Baguette just actually dropping out of a second here to TD Champs. The TD Champs just got the hammer down a little bit over the last couple of laps. He's still got the Grieve on the back of the Mark, but Mark's still holding firm. Dems Becky's got a bit of a run, has got DRS here this time again on Joam, but once again just too far back really to be able to make that DRS work. And he's going to have to sit tight for the time being. We've got double waved yellow flags through sector 3. Can't work out what those are for at the moment. Oh, as Crazy Max has been in there. So Crazy Max dropping a couple of places there. HD Baguette and Twitch Storms up into 11th and 12th places. And Crazy Max there has got it going again, but he's lost quite a bit of time there. As Dems Becky's got just on the fastest lap of the race there in the Ferrari. Oh, as HD Baguette there drops it as well down to P14. Felix there moving ahead of Twitch Storms up into 12th place. So dramas here. Oh, what's going on? Game for life. What are you doing? Felix. Whoa. What was that? What's going on? Come on. That looked to me like he was... Alright. We'll come back to that. Raki saying in the comments, good evening all, welcome along Raki, good to see you as always mate. Everyone's still happy that Joram is racing. I mean I'm happy he's racing. I imagine that Dennis Becky probably is, but I reckon everybody else probably a little bit wound up. To be fair though, these guys are actually on the hard tyres, so Bennett's actually in a decent position here. He's actually only 8 seconds off for the lead, and we're 7 laps into the race, so he's not doing too badly on the hard tyres, saying that the time differential between the mediums and the hards is not a second a lap, so he's not really in a position to challenge, but nonetheless he's closer than it looks, you know, at a glance, but yeah, still some way off the pace of these two out the front. But yeah, great to see Joram making his return. Raki is actually Joram's dad, so he's basically probably quite happy to see his son out the front doing the business here. GGJ says, no, I was driving the leader's pace in practice, I could have been there, did that time on hards, they are on mediums, says GGJ. As Crest Anime's left the session, so very unfortunate there, obviously crashing out of the race quite early on, so has stuck around since, but now has left the session. But here we are with the battle for P5, 6 and 7. He's still got the Grieve at the Mark and Tezamaz as they're coming out onto the start finish straight once again. Game for Life says, I got a legal overtake on Storms and he didn't want to overtake me, so I slowed down to let him pass and then moved out of the way because he wasn't driving to the right so he could overtake. Okay mate, cool, I understand. It looked to me at a glance as I flipped to you like you were weaving around trying to crash into them, but I accept that. I understand that's probably what you were trying to do, don't worry. Yeah, don't stress, that's fine. But yeah, the Grieve, the Mark, Tezamaz are still these three fighting it out over P5 in this race. Dems Becky's still on the back of Joram as these two still continue to scrap it out. It's very much an even battle here between these two in the battle for the lead. They're still yet to come in for the pit stop. They're 8 seconds clear of Bennett, who's on the hard tyres, but as I said before, Bennett would not be losing a second a lap on hard, so you'd imagine that they'll still come out well ahead of him when it's all said and done with the strategy. Unless we see Bennett switching to the soft tyres maybe in the final stint, that could be one to watch for. Is Bennett going to try and go very long and maybe go to about the end of lap 20 or 21 and then put the soft on at the end. If the safety car stays away for the duration, then we could be seeing that strategy coming into play. But nonetheless, his Ferrari teammate doing a good job here on the back of Joam. And Ferrari have really needed to pick it up over the course of this season. And this tonight, I'll tell you what, is a great opportunity for Ferrari to really bounce back in the Constructors' Championship, because with Vincent Janssen not here tonight and obviously GGJ not able to get in, it does mean that Red Bull aren't going to be scoring any points, and definitely it's going to be a golden opportunity here for Ferrari to get themselves back into this hunt. I'm actually not sure what happened to Vincent Janssen, because he's not, he didn't join, he didn't say anything. I'm pretty sure I sent out invites to everyone. He didn't say I hadn't sent him an invite, so I would imagine that he wasn't able to make it for whatever reason. But yeah, nonetheless, we haven't seen Vincent Janssen out on track tonight. GGJ, if you know what happened to Vincent tonight, if you could shed some light. I don't know whether you know the answer to that, but yeah, currently we're still seeing a battle going on between Joam and Demspecky right now. Half a second separating these two as they're coming down the long straight, which leads towards the final part of the track. You can see here that Tezamaza's got ahead of the Grieve, up into P5 down the inside, making a move beautifully there as they're coming through the stadium. But yeah, nice move there. Oh, it's the battle for the lead really heating up. Demspecky's made the move on Joam. So Demspecky takes the lead as we're coming through the final few corners, as he's now coming down the start-finish straight. Demspecky now defending the inside line from Joam, who has DRS coming into turn one. But Demspecky has that one covered off and has the lead there. Beautifully done there from Demspecky. Can Joam trying to come back at him here? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. And that is Demspecky up into P1. Excellent stuff there from him. GGJ saying that Vincent got sick during work today. Oh no, hopefully Vincent feeling better pretty soon, but that's a shame there, obviously, that Vincent couldn't be here tonight. And as I said before, with the Ferraris in 1 and 3 right now, and the 2 Red Bulls scoring nil points tonight, that is going to bring the Constructors' battle right into play. So Demspecky and Bennett are going to be extra motivated to try and continue what they're doing right now. Joam currently running in P2, but Demspecky, who's probably in the box seat in this championship battle tonight at least, has got his hands full with the 3-time champion really hassling the back of him. But it just goes to show, and I think this is testimony to the amount that Demspecky's improved with his rivalry with GGJ so far this season, and obviously Vincent as well. It goes to show how much he's improved as a driver, because last season I don't think we would have seen Demspecky challenging Joam. Joam generally was at points in a class of his own last season. Demspecky looks to be on a par with him tonight at Miami, so it's so close between these two, and it shows that Demspecky's really made some vast improvements since last season, because you know these two are tied at the hip right now, but they're having a great little duel as they're coming through the final corner to finish lap 10 of the race. And you can see here Joam once again with DRS down the straight, but he's going to get there just a little bit too late, and Demspecky holds on into turn 1. These guys are 10 seconds clear of Bennett, who's obviously on those hard tyres, but Bennett could be able to put the softs at the end of the race, so that could be one to watch. As we got Mike in the comments saying F1 at Miami, close racing going on here, especially the 2 leaders. Definitely, Mike, it's been excellent racing so far we've seen between Demspecky and Joam. Also throughout the pack as well, we've seen Tezamaza was stuck behind the Grieve for a little while, but he managed to get ahead of him. It's now pulled out a 3-second gap. The mark is still on the back of the Grieve though in that battle for P6. Joam on a full battery, says GGJ. Well spotted, mate. Yeah, Demspecky's only got 30% of his, so he's really been abusing that battery quite a bit. As he's now going to make the move around the outside. Demspecky has the inside covered off. He's going to squeeze Joam to the edge of the track, but Joam's still there. Demspecky very courteous. At times I think Demspecky can be a little bit too courteous. He's extremely clean, and you know, he's not the type of driver to run somebody off the road. He's giving Joam all the respect that Joam deserves, and probably a little bit more here, but he's managed to keep onto the position just about there, and these two are going to have a great scrap down this long straight, which Joam's going to probably breeze past him with ease here, because he's got the DRS and he's way close to him, way too close for Demspecky to be able to do anything about it. Joam there into P1 once again as we come through the final few corners. And back into P1 here in this race. Jill Silverins picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's the first driver in this race to pick up a time penalty, actually. We saw a few in the sprint race, but in fact, as we say that, Jill Silverin and the Mark both getting time penalties here on lap 11 of the race. So those two both falling foul of the stewards here. But Joam and Demspecki still out the front, 0.4 of a second separating these two as they continue to fight it out. Jill Silverin's actually closed in on the back of the Grieve and the Mark here. So this is now a three-way battle here for 6th place. So Jill Silverin's been getting some decent work done over these last few laps and now finds himself very much in that fight as they're coming down the start-finish straight here for the 11th time in this race. Battle of the front still rages on though between Joam and Demspecki. Joam now just trying to pull out the gap a little bit. Bennett is within 10 seconds of the lead here, 12 laps into the race. I said before on the hard tyres, could he be maybe thinking about a soft stint at the end of this race? That will give him a lot of performance and could potentially bring him into the battle for the win here in this race. Don't know what he's planning. Obviously he might be hoping to play it safe and putting the mediums on, but we'll just have to wait and see what strategy he adopts here. As we've got double waved yellow flags through sector 3 at the moment. As we've got still these two, Joam and Demspecki battling it out. The Mark and Jill Silverin battling the Marks managed to get back ahead of Jill Silverin, so Jill Silverin must have made a move there on him on that lap on that previous time around. But these three, the Grieve, the Mark and Jill Silverin still going at it here. You can see that Jill Silverin will get DRS down this straight and will probably be able to return the favour here on the Mark. The Mark's not really got much of a slipstream off of the Grieve, so Jill Silverin should be able to get this one done, although with the Mark having DRS on the Grieve, it's just helped him out a little bit here, and Jill Silverin might have to wait a little bit longer here. As Joam and Demspecki just under a second currently separating those two. And the Grieve and the Mark still battling over P6 and 7 right now with Jill Silverin on the back of these guys. This is the battle for the lead. Almost just over a second for a moment there. Joam managed to pull out to Demspecki, so starting to up the tempo a little bit. Can Demspecki go with him and matches every lap time here? So these guys just coming up on some traffic. That would appear to be Polish My Balls, who's just up ahead of the two leaders as they're coming through. But just over a second now separating Joam and Demspecki here. As they come through the final few corners, you've got the Grieve, who's managed to squeeze ahead of the Mark. Oh, as the Mark there loses it, and he's lost out to Jill Silverin and TDD Champ, and is Big Tigger going to come up on the scene? I don't think he is. So the Mark there losing it, and Polish My Balls is actually retired from the race. Did he crash out? I think he might have crashed out because we've got double yellow flags through sector 3. Demspecki comes into the pits, so he's the first of the two leaders to come in. Going for the undercut maybe. Can Joam respond, keep the lead on those worn out medium tyres? Obviously Demspecki is going to have fresh hards. The medium's quicker than the hards, but Demspecki being on fresh hards probably is going to have better grip than Joam is on this particular lap. Once he gets him up to temperature, which should be after about the first sector, he should be able to absolutely fly around the rest of this lap. And can we see Demspecki get the undercut here, or is Joam going to hold on to this lead which he's currently got? Bennett, as we said before, could be a factor on those hard tyres. He's currently 12 seconds off the lead as we're 14 laps into the race. But is he going to be able to put the soft on for the final stint and make up a lot of the time that he's lost over the course of this race so far? Again, all these questions and more will be answered by the time we get to the end of this race. But it is Joam still out the front by 13 seconds. Jill Silverin having to defend a little bit there from TDD Champ. Jill Silverin's gone deep. Just TDD Champ capitalised, no, can't do it as they're coming through the stadium. They just dropped a little bit off of the Grieve though with Jill Silverin's mistake coming through that part of the track. Or as Jill Silverin cuts the chicane there completely, misses it out, drives over it like it's not even there, into the wall as well. And TDD Champ might fancy capitalising here as we come down this long straight. And in fact, Jill Silverin's dropped out of the DRS here, so he's going to be extra vulnerable. No, he hasn't. He has still got DRS. He was just slow to deploy it. And he's just going to hold on here ahead of TDD Champ coming to the end of the straight. Tesmus is into the pits here at the end of lap 14. So I imagine he's going to be putting the medium tyres on. Should be able to go to the end from here. TDD Champ's got back ahead of Jules Silver, and that's because Jules Silver is into the pits here at the end of lap 14. But Joe still your race leader here by 13 seconds over Bennett. TDD Champ's still on the back of the Grieve right now. You can see these two very close. The TDD Champ's got a bit of slipstream, getting a bit closer. He's got the DRS now as well, so is he going to be able to go for a move here? Looks like the Grieve holding on at the moment. The Mark has got the DRS here on Tezza as well. Getting closer and closer and closer, but just getting there a little bit too late at the moment. As TDD Champ now has got the run down the back straight, he'll look to try and get that slipstream. We've got Robinsons in the comments saying, hey, hello Robinsons, welcome. First time I've seen you on the Motive Racing channel. If you're enjoying what you're seeing tonight, please do feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you play F1, then definitely go to www.motiveracing.com. But we've still got TDD Champ on the back of the Grieve right now as these guys coming through the final few corners of the lap. 8 of you currently watching. Smash the like button, guys, if you're enjoying what you're seeing tonight. As we've got TDD Champ just a little bit too far back here on the Grieve coming into turn 1. Big Tigger's just within DRS of Jules Silverin as they're coming down the long back straight. You've got the Mark into the pits here at the end of lap 15. Putting the medium tyres on, you'd imagine. But currently it's Joam still leading the race. Obviously he's still yet to pit, but when he does, is he going to come out ahead of Demis Becky? Because he's been staying out for quite a few laps now, and he seems to be continuing on. I wonder if Joam is maybe going for a soft stint here at the end. Potentially he's longing it out, hoping to put the soft tyres on for his final stint. He's doing fastest laps of the race as well here. Keep an eye on Demis Becky because he'll be going quite quickly on his fresh hard tyres as well. As we see Demis Becky just coming through out of the last corner. He's currently half a second off his personal best. As the Grieve here looking to make the move on TDD Champ. DRS open, coming down towards the final part of the lap. Here we go, he's going to come past, coming it down towards the final few corners of the lap. The Grieve there getting the move done on TDD Champ. As you can see in the background, well no, actually not in the background, but a long way behind them, you've got Tez and Muzzer and Big Tigger and Jill Silverin, should I say, still battling over P8 and 9. As you can see there, that Jules Silverman keeping it there, but Big Tigger going for the cutback, coming through into the final corner. Jules Silverman just squeezing back ahead there. Big Tigger is going to look to try and move around the outside here. Jules Silverman defends the inside line, goes deep again. Big Tigger can't get the cutback, and Jules Silverman keeping on to P8 for the time being. The Grieve is on the back of TDD Champ as these two still continue to fight it out for P5. Oh, he's looking down the inside. There is the Grieve, but nothing doing on TDD Champ. As we can see, Joam into the pits here at the end of lap 17. So the question is, has he managed to keep onto the lead here? He's already coming out of the pits now. In fact, did he stop in the box? Did he even do a stop? Did he? Yeah, I think he must have done, right? Did he stop? Or did he do a drive-through? I'm confused. No, he did stop because he's got fresh hards on. So he's come out 4 seconds ahead of Demis Becky. So he did get the undercut by quite some way as well. So he's not going for the soft tyres at the end of this race, is Joam. But he's come out 2 seconds behind Bennett. Now, Bennett's going to be coming in probably, well, he's got to come in soon, but is he going to long it out to about lap 21, maybe put the soft tyres on for the final few laps of the race? If he can come out maybe about, I don't know, within 15 seconds of these two with fresh soft tyres on, maybe he might have a chance of reeling them in by the end of the race. Could we see a late charge from Bennett through this pack? But nonetheless, you've got Joram still running in at the net lead of the race at the moment. He's got 4 seconds back to this man, Demspecki. So the big winner in this pit window has definitely been Joram. He's been able to make the most of Demspecki, seemingly dropping off the pace a little bit over this over the last few laps. We've got Tezamazza still closing up onto the back of the Grieve. The battle between those two, 1.3 seconds currently separating them. You've got the mark on the back of Big Tigger, as well as those two running in 9th and 10th places. But there's Bennett, there's Joram just coming into turn one. There's Demspecki running in 3rd place at the moment. As you've got the mark there, making a move on Big Tigger around the outside. DRS aided there, up into 9th place. Easy pickings there for the mark. Little Greavy into the pits here at the end of lap 18. Bennett still doing the business right now. A second and a half is his gap over Joram. There's Little Greavy coming back out onto the track. There's the Grieve just coming through the pit lane. So here we go, Tezamazza ever closer to the back of Little Greavy. Is he going to get DRS through this part of the track? He is. He's definitely within range, but he's just too far back, I think, coming into the braking zone. Tucks in for the time being. When does Bennett pull the trigger? He's coming in now, so at the end of lap 19, surely soft tyres going on Bennett's car. You would think if he's got this far, surely we're going to see some red walls going on the Ferrari. Here he comes into the box. No, it's mediums. So Bennett playing it safe here, not risking it with the soft tyres. So he's now on his way out of the pits, 10 laps left to go. What's his gap to the leaders here? We'll see obviously once he gets to the next checkpoint. So Bennett's come out and he is 18 seconds behind Joram. So I think Bennett probably too far back to close in on his teammate Demspecki. I reckon Bennett probably a P3 is going to be his finish here. I reckon he's in a solid position. He should be able to just consolidate that and bring it home on the podium. Little Greavy's just ahead of Tezamazza. You can see here half a second separating these two. Big Tigger's still on the back of the mark as they're coming through the final couple of corners. But yeah, Tezza trying to pile this pressure on Little Greavy here more and more as this one goes on. Tezza just not close enough really to make a move on Little Greavy coming through the stadium section. Still within half a second right now. Jill Silver in within a second of the Grieve as they're coming through the middle part of the lap. You've got Big Tigger within a second of the mark at this point as well. You can see he's got the DRS as well as Big Tigger. Jill Silver's still very close on the back of the Grieve, but just not close enough. I don't think he might drop out DRS actually. No, just stays within DRS, but a little bit too far back to make it work to full effect here. Here we are, then we've got Jules Silverman getting ever closer to the back of the Grieve here. He's got DRS, but he's not going to get there close enough into the left-handed braking zone at the end of the this very long straight. And for the time being, he's waiting for his opportunities here. Trying to weaken him, trying to get into his head and cause him to make a slip up. But for the time being, looks like the Grieve's been holding firm, hasn't been giving him anything to go on. Little Grievey and Tezza coming through the final few corners, half a second currently separating these two as they're coming out onto the start finish straight once again. Tezza with DRS, but will not get there in time into turn one. Joram out the front, extending his gap. He's got 4 lap fresher tyres than Demspecki, and he's making that to good use at the moment. Bennett there running in third on his fresh mediums, but he's way too far behind to reel in his teammate Demspecki. Oh, as Little Grievey's binned it right in front of Tezza Mazda, and Tezza Mazda moves through. Little Grievey resets to the track as well, but Tezza Mazda there up into 4th place. No dramas for Tezza, and Little Grievey gets it going again. But I think that was the pressure there from Tezza Mazda that caused him to make that mistake. Jules Silverman still on the back of the Grieve as these two coming through the middle part, sorry, the first sector should I say, at the moment. On board with Jules Silverman as he's looking to try and exploit a gap if he can. The Grieve is not making any mistakes at the moment. He's got DRS down this part of the track. Can he use that to full effect here? Has to tuck in and wait for his opportunities. Here we go, Jules Silverman will get a nice run here down this long straight which leads down towards the final couple of corners of the lap. Here we go, DRS open for Jules Silverman. He's going to get closer and closer and closer. He hasn't got much ERS to play with. The Grieve's got a little bit more, but not a whole lot either, to be fair. But Jules Silverman just a little bit too late to the party into that penultimate corner. Has to wait. Demspecki 7 seconds behind. You race to Joram. Joram's still controlling things out the front. He's also just put a lap on Twitch Storm, so you can see they're just behind him. Back to this battle though, 4-7th place between the Grieve and Jill Silverman. Also keeping an eye on the battle between the Mark and Big Tigger, because there's only 6/10 currently separating those two. Jill Silverman with DRS once again, but just not close enough. Big Tigger a bit closer to the Mark than Jill Silverman is to the Grieve, but similar story, just not in a range as the Mark goes very deep there, but gets it stopped in time. So we've got DRS here for Jill Silverman as he's getting a little bit closer here to the back of the Grieve, but throws a little feint to the inside, but can't make it happen. As Big Tigger's moved through ahead of the Mark up into 9th. Oh, he's gone deep though, and the Mark there gets him on the cutback beautifully there, back up into P9. Big Tigger though will get the DRS down the start finish straight. He's closing and closing and closing, but he's not going to go for it from there. Bennett's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits as the Grieve there moves through back ahead of Jill Silverman. Jill Silverman slowed down here, so I don't quite know what's happened here. But nonetheless, Big Tigger's still pressuring the back of the Mark here. Joram is pulling away from Demspecki. He's got a decisive lead here as we're approaching the closing stages of the race. Big Tigger here has got DRS on the Mark, but just too far away. The Greaves managed to pull out a bit of a gap to Jill Silver, and that's now only 2 seconds between those two. So definitely the Grieve looking a bit more comfortable in that position. As Jill Silvering's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits, multiple warnings there for him, so he's been pushing it a little bit too hard, and he's unfortunately fallen foul of the race director here. Big Tigger's got DRS just about on the mark, but nowhere near close enough to make a move. It's down towards the final part of the lap they come. There is your race leader. He's about to start lap 26. He won the race here at Miami, the first ever race we did at Miami on the F1 game here at Motive last season when it was the season opener. And it looks like he's going to take the second race at Miami here at Motive as well. 9 seconds his gap currently to Demsbecky, who's driven a solid race to be fair, but in the final stint, Joram has just absolutely got up and gone off. Jill Silver in just over a second off the back of the Grieve right now. You can see Big Tigger there is pretty close on the back of the mark still in his battle for P9. Jill Silver in on the back of the Grieve here. You can see he's got DRS coming down the start finish straight. He'll get that a little bit closer to him as they come over the line here to start lap 26. Too far back again into turn 1. Big Tigger just within a second of the mark at the moment, clinging on by the skin of his teeth. Joram here starting lap 27. We've got 3 laps left to go here at Miami for round 5 of the season here at Motive for season 5. Demsbecky there just keeping it within 10 seconds of Joam just about. As Jill Silvering's got ahead of the Grieve up into 7th place, must have made that move coming through the, well, somewhere through the first sector. The mark's pulled out over a second now to Big Tigger in that battle for P9. As the Grieve back down the inside of Jill Silvering, coming down to the end of the back of that long straight into the stadium section there. That looks like that's job done there for the Grieve. Jill Silvering trying to come back at him, but always the Grieve goes into the wall. He cuts the chicane as well, and he's going to lose out. Jill Silvering back around the outside, has the inside for the left-hander and gets ahead of him, but now the Grieve will have DRS down this long straight, so he'll be able to use the slipstream and the DRS. I reckon the Grieve's going to be coming back past him here. Here we go, DRS rear wing wide open there for the Haas. Getting that closing speed, he's going to pull out now, looks to the inside here, and the Grieve moves himself up into P7, easy. So timed that to perfection there as he gets a tap there from Jill Silverin as well, but the Grieve chopped on there up into 7th place. This battle for 7th place still continuing on as the Grieve doesn't get a great run. Jill Silverin getting much better traction there. Side by side they go. Jill Silverin tucks it back into P7 once again as these two chopping and changing non-stop. They can't make up their mind who's going to take P7 in this race. They've been battling left, right and centre here. But Jill Silverin currently sat in that position once again, looking to come out on top. The Grieve here with DRS is going to look to the inside. He's going to have the inside for this, or outside, sorry, for the right-hander at the end of the long straight, and he's going to get that one done there as the Grieve up into P7 once again. Great fight from these two. As they come through the chicane, both of them getting it turned in properly this time. Let's get the penalties up because that will give us some idea of what the situation is in terms of who's going to be losing what amount of time by the time we get to the end. As we've got DRS here open for Jill Silverman. Getting closer to the back of the grid, but obviously too far back here by the looks of it. What about down the start finish straight? Can Jill Silverman get the run here and get a little bit closer into turn 1? Doesn't look like it. For the time being, has to wait for his opportunities here. Joel Ram's just done the fastest lap of the race there, 1 minute 30.2. He's flying out the front. And I tell you what, he might be looking to try and do another fastest lap on the final lap as well here. Demsbecky's got a 5-second time penalty, so that will obviously be added on to his time at the end. Bennett's closing the gap bit by bit here to Demsbecky as well. But obviously he's not close enough to get ahead of him by the time he gets to the end of the race, that's for sure. Jill Silverman's still quite close to the back of the grid at the moment as these guys coming through towards the end of their penultimate laps. As Jill Silverman gives the Grieve a bit of tap in the rear there, but nothing doing. He still holds on, does the Grieve. Trying to hassle him out in any which way he can. But the Grieve's still holding on to that position just. These guys can't be that far from being a lap down. Where is the race leader? In fact, there is the race leader. Joram is coming down the back straight now. He's got over an 11-second lead here to Demsbecky as Joram. He's doing absolutely superbly here tonight. Won the race at Miami last season when it was the season open. That was the first ever race we did at Miami here at Motive. Here he comes into the final couple of corners. It is going to be Joram 22, the 3-time champion of Motive's F1 League, is going to win on his return appearance to the channel. He does some donuts. He's rubbing it in as he comes up towards the line. He needs to get going quickly here, otherwise he's going to throw away this win. But Joram there showing off in spectacular fashion. Demsbecky takes P2 in the end. He had a penalty anyway, so he wouldn't have got close. Bennett's coming through the final couple of corners, and it's going to take a 3rd place here tonight in the Ferrari. But Joram, the arrogance from him as he did donuts over the line. Bennett there takes 3rd. The top 3 well ahead, 15 seconds separating them. But having said that, it would have been a bit more than that if Joram hadn't done what he did there. But nonetheless, Joram, Demsbecky and Bennett, your podium finishers. Ferrari getting a 2nd and a 3rd and taking big points out of Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, with GGJ and Vincent both not here for different reasons. GGJ, his internet playing up, and Vincent Janssen not feeling the best tonight. Tesla Mazda takes 4th ahead of Little Greavy in 5th. TDD Champ's going to come out of coming through the last couple of corners here, and it's going to be a P6 here for him as up and over the line he comes. The Grieve here coming through the final few corners of the lap, and it's going to be a P7 here for him as he's got Jill Silverman on the back of him. Jill Silverman with DRS coming down towards the final couple of corners. But the Grieve is going to hold on here for 7th place. Jill Silverman with 9 seconds worth of penalties as well will lose out to the Mark. So the Grieve 7th, the Mark comes over in 8th with Jill Silverman's penalty. Jill Silver in 9th. Big Tigger completing the top 10, and Twitch Storms has already finished the race in 11th place. But thank you guys for tuning in. Apologies for the lack of comms for the first 5 laps of the sprint race tonight. It was just a glitch with my game, which won't happen again because I had to re-download it and I had to re-download everything on my PS5. So basically it's like a new console, but that issue will not be rearing its ugly head next week, thank goodness. But yep, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to all the drivers for showing up. Thanks to all the support from everybody as always. Well done to Joram on winning on his reappearance tonight as a one-off special guest, and well done to Demsbecky and Bennett on the podiums. Thanks everybody, guys. We'll see you later. Join us next week at the same time as usual for the F1 League. We'll be live at the same time. No, well, obviously the same time as usual this week, a bit late, but we'll be live from Circuit de Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix at 6:40 PM UK time next Friday. Also join us on Sunday. We'll be live on ACC on the PlayStation 5 version of ACC for the GT3 Championship at 7 p.m. We'll be at Suzuka for that one, and then we'll be live on Monday for the Clio Cup on Project Cars 2, followed by the Touring Cars on Thursday. But yeah, thanks everybody. We'll see you soon. Take it easy, and yeah, good night.